Show.
Yeah, it's scary. They don't like people with a sense of humor going after them because the humor really cuts quick.
And it reveals just how dumb their ideology is.
Yeah, it's very revealing, and you can pontificate all you want about something like a couple years ago, like COVID origins. Is it a wet market? Is it a lab? Lots of conjecture and lots of pontificating. And then Jon Stewart goes on Stephen Colbert's show and in like 80 seconds turns everyone around, makes them laugh, and gets them to go, oh, yeah, of course. And that's using comedy. And that's why it's scary when you lose comedians to them, especially because we talked about ridicule now being the most effective. All right, what do you got, Mayhem?
Well, Musk shares a mind-blowing chart showing millions of non-citizens given social security numbers under Biden. Yeah, Elon Musk shared the chart during a Get Out the Vote rally in Wisconsin over the weekend, which claimed showed millions of non-citizens received social security numbers during President Joe Biden's tenure.
Well, you have to kind of wonder with everything. You go, hey, man, we want you to close this border. And they go, yeah, man, it's complicated. You go, well, hey, who's the border czar? Like, it's Kamala Harris. Have you been to the border? Well, we've been to the border. You've been to the border? Well, not the border. I went to the bookstore. Borders. Yeah, but I did not go to. And it's sort of like, it's like at a certain point, as I bring up almost every day, you have to ask yourself, what do they want? Because they're not doing anything.
Oh, they're doing something.
Well, yes, they're not doing anything that would suggest they want the border closed. You got border guys on horseback waving their reins around, and you're saying they're beating Haitians at the border. You got a guy. Okay, so here's what I'm saying. Simple thought experiment.
All right.
Democrats, Biden, and Kamala Harris. You want the border stout, right? You want a good, safe, effective border. You don't want people coming over. Right, no. Okay, why are you suing Texas for putting up razor wire to stop people from coming across the border? Oh, no, I want a good border. How come everything you do is against that if that's what you want? Like, if you take guys, there's no such thing as a horny guy who's like, I want to go out and get a fucking whore tonight. And then you go, Marty, it's been 2 hours. Where have you been? I'm taking my pre-whoring nap. And then you go, all right, well, then what? I've been in the shower for 2 hours. Like, I want some pussy. It's like, do you though? You've not. It's been 3 days now. You've not left the house.
Marty's gay.
Marty's gay. Like, at a certain point, don't listen to him. Watch him.
Yeah, it's called gaslighting.
Right. And when guys are horny and they do want to go out and get some companionship, they'll walk through a plate glass window to get to it.
They'll go through a blizzard to get a cheesecake.
Right. No, when you're into it. You know what I mean? Like but it's true. Like, when you're into what you're into. But you wouldn't talk about cheesecake for year in and year out. Have you been to the Cheesecake Factory? I haven't been to Europe either, but that doesn't mean it's like you fucking will be at the Cheesecake Factory eating cheesecake, not talking about it every year and never going there, right?
Yep. Well, they want them in. They want to dismantle the
I
West.
think that's what it feels like at this point, yes. Because they want voters, and also they want the census demographic as well, even if they're not voting. So, yeah. But why wouldn't you?
Yeah, he said that he found this they were mapping the whole system of Social Security, including where they found a lot of people over 120 years old. So,
have they arrested anyone who did this?
Yeah, that's the big thing, that there's fraud. It seems like that they're finding fraud, but I haven't heard of one person arrested for said fraud yet.
Yeah. That's when people are really going to change. When you actually start arresting the people responsible for this who are committing the fraud, then there's an incentive. Because right now, the people who are doing this, politicians or whatever, they again have only gain. Yes. They can make money, somebody could bribe them, all this. And if they get caught, there's no loss.
Right. Yeah, well, I mean, I think Biden pardoned Mayorkas. You got to look it up there.
Yeah, he did.
He did. So he pardoned everybody.
What does that tell you? Why would you wouldn't need to pardon an innocent man?
Listen, I'll take a pardon if I can get one.
Yeah, no chance of that. But no, well, they would say because of retribution and Trump's, what they do is they build the false dragon that is Trump, and then they go, why did you pardon your son? Because the fake dragon would come after him. Now, what I've said a million times, you don't have to pardon me for killing Nicole Brown Simpson, because if you said, let's get at him and let's lock him up for killing Nicole Brown Simpson, I'll go, what night was it? Yeah, I was in La Crescenta with my roommates watching Jeopardy. Like, you can interview them, check for DNA. Like, if I didn't do anything, if it was just nothing, like if you're just, let's just say Hunter Biden just did nothing. He just, normal son, just hung out stateside, just worked at a, he worked for 3M making Post-it stickies or something. Well, then what could Trump really do?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, there's this weird fantasy. He's just going to go scoop him up and throw him in solitary confinement. But really, what could you do if there's nothing there? Or is there a bunch of there?
Yeah, and the other part, too, is you have to remember, they know that they just have to give their hordes a bit of a narrative to help them, because otherwise it becomes very clear, like, why are you pardoning someone who didn't do anything? And in order to keep the hordes there and not having to, because they know these hordes got to go out and fight these battles with the plebes. So they just give them a narrative, and you'll hear them all parrot it back.
Right.
And you'll see it. They all like download the software, and then it comes right out, and you're like, you're so predictable. It's insane. It
is very predictable. And the interesting time we're at now is we took a break on the social justice. We took a break on the race hustling for just 10 minutes, and we went right to the class hustle. These billionaires want to give money to their billionaire friends by throwing grandma out in the street and getting her off Social Security. So
there's the narrative.
Right. They shifted from race, because it's always race, nonstop race. And there was like a memo, and overnight, it all shifted to class. Start calling everyone billionaires and buddies. And then some sort of weird thing where Elon is trying to look into Social Security so he can give his billionaire buddies a tax handout. But by the way, tax handouts, paying less in taxes is not a tax handout. Like if I'm...
It is if I'm entitled to your money.
Well, yeah, but if I go to a movie theater and popcorn is $17, and then at some point they go, for you, Carolla, it'll be $8. That's not really a popcorn handout. That's just, I'm not getting butt fucked about the popcorn. Like that, I'm not being gouged in the popcorn department. It's still my money. I'm still giving you my money. I'm giving you a lower percentage of it, and the popcorn's free for the rest of the fucking people in the movie theater, by the way. So it's not exactly a handout.
Yeah.
All right, sorry. Go ahead, Mayhem.
Oh, we got some more news. Prince Andrew accuser Virginia Giuffre says she's in the hospital after her car crashed with the school bus. This prominent Jeffrey Epstein accuser who alleged Prince Andrew abused her is in serious condition in a hospital after a school bus hit a car she was in driving in rural Australia.
Well, just because Prince Andrew was driving the school bus doesn't mean that he was trying to silence her. I want you to know, I know his critics will point to that.
Yeah, she here on Instagram, she said that she'd gone into kidney renal failure, and they've given me 4 days to live.
Which is a bit odd, don't you think, that it's that specific?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. But
so she accused the prince of getting at her when she was underage?
Correct. Yeah. Said that he absolutely denied it. And the funny thing about this is that the Western Australia police reported that there was a minor collision between a car, bus, and a car and a bus.
Well, she was a minor at the time. He got to her.
Yeah.
He gave one of the greatest interviews ever. Remember Dawson when he was being accused of all this, like in a sit down, and he was explaining he doesn't sweat because he had he fought in the Falklands War, and grenade went off too close to him, and he stopped Sweating? I wish I had that. I sweat a lot.
Yeah, me too.
Wasn't he sweating during the interview, though?
No, that's why I believe it. Because someone puts a light and a camera in your face and accuses you of being a pedophile and you're bone dry.
Well,
that's pretty good.
When you're one of the elites, you've had a lot of training with that. I don't know. She's got a picture. I believe it.
Oh, Marcus did not receive a pardon from President Joe Biden, by the way. FYI. Yeah, so also, when the chicks are young and skinny and blonde, it kind of hurts your case when you're arguing about not being attracted to them.
Right.
And you're cuddled up right next to him.
Yeah.
Hey, he said that he never did anything, but Prince Andrew intends to make a substantial donation to Ms. Jeffrey's charity in support of victims' rights.
A substantial donation of 2 bullets.
Yeah. Or a school bus.
Doesn't that sound like a guilty man? He's trying to be like, look how good I am.
Totally. He's giving her a bunch of money despite saying, nope, I didn't do it.
I'll tell you what's always guilty. What's always guilty is like you rent somebody your condo or something, and then at some point you come back and the throw rug is like ripped. There's a big rip in the middle, and you go, that thing was almost new when you moved in, and now it's got a big rip in the middle. And they go, I didn't do it. It was that way when I got there. And then you go, it was definitely not that way. I bought it, rolled it out, then you moved in the next day, and there was a big rip in the middle. And they go, I didn't do it, but okay, I'll split the cost of it. It's like, you do not split. If I came out of a supermarket and someone said, your shopping cart dinged the side of my minivan, and I'd go, I just walked out. And they go, well, I'm accusing you of that. I wouldn't go, let's split the cost of that. I'd go, fuck right off. Like, I'm not splitting the cost of something that I definitely didn't do. Yeah. And I'm not cutting a check to the Wayward Women's Foundation if I never touched this bitch.
That's right. Spot on.
Oh, we got the Can't Sweat video. It's a good one.
So you're absolutely sure that you're at home on the 10th of March?
Yeah.
She was very specific about that night. Mm-hmm. She described dancing with you and you profusely sweating, and that she went on to have bath, possibly.
There's a slight problem with the sweating because I have a peculiar medical condition, which is that I don't sweat. Or I didn't sweat at the time, and that was yes, I didn't sweat at the time because I had suffered what I would describe as an overdose of adrenaline in the Falklands War when I was shot at, and I simply it was almost impossible for me to sweat, and it's only because I have done a number of things in the recent past that I'm starting to be able to do that again. So I'm afraid
he said he's able to sweat now, just in case you see him sweating.
Yeah.
I feel that way about loving again. Like I was so traumatized that I just couldn't do it. But I'm working on learning to love again. All right.
Here's
compelling.
some more news. Black dad knocked for leaving his kids at McDonald's to interview for a job.
I started reading this, and I was like, screw that. He's looking for a job. It's a brother looking for a job.
Come on, he's doing 2 things black people don't do. He's raising his kids and he's looking for a job.
That's right.
Yeah. Georgia man was recently arrested for leaving his kids at McDonald's so he could go job hunting. Chris Lewis left his 3 children at a Augusta area, Mickey D's, while job was
also, don't put a slide in a Ronald McDonald Funhouse and a ball pit and shit. Half those places have kids.
That's exactly right.
You just leave the kid on the slide.
Yeah.
How old are the kids? Oh, 1. Yeah. One of the kids is 1. That's a little shady.
That's why you have the 9-year-old in charge.
A 10-year-old, a 6-year-old, and a 1-year-old. Yeah, they were left inside. Somebody got nosy and called the cops.
Black men cannot rise above. This is why they have, because the system. Look at what they do. The guy's trying to go get a job, and they get
it's
him.
viral now. Somebody's giving this guy a job.
Yeah, just because he pronounces it McDonald's doesn't mean. It does not. I don't know what it is with black people and the word McDonald's, but it's not. It's like axe and ask. Like for some reason. No one ever tunes him up and goes, it's just called McDonald's. Like, it's not old MacDonald had a farm. It's old McDonald. It's a different thing. Yeah.
It'd be pretty funny if he was going to another McDonald's to apply for a job.
That one doesn't have a play place.
I will say that if it had a play place and you have a 10-year-old and this thing in your head is under an hour, you can tell the 10-year-old, look after your brother and your sister or whatever, have fun in the ball pit. Here's a French fry. I'm hustling out to put in an application. I don't think that makes you a bad dad.
I think the 1-year-old's a little close. Like 10-year-old, it depends on the 10-year-old if they're mature enough to take care of a 1-year-old.
I'm trying to think. I started babysitting when I was like 13, I guess.
Yeah, but you were changing oil on cars. It's a little different.
That's right. That was right. I own my own McDonald's in the neighborhood. I miss the urban McDonald commercials from back in the day where everyone was black.
Oh yeah,
they would do it.
Well, now every commercial, everyone's black. So.
Yeah, but we used to do. See, back in the day, the white commercials were throwing a couple of token blacks into the mix, just a couple of croutons on top of the white salad there, but. The black commercials, it would be weird if there was one ginger standing there at the counter, right? So they would do the old urban one, and they sung the song, and they would call it McDonald's.
Oh, that's funny.
And I don't think it's offensive to say, like, look, if I said, oh yeah, that singer Whitney Houston, you could say Whitney Houston. Like you could say to me as a black man, it's Whitney Houston. You keep saying Houston. It's Houston. Like it's not McDonald. Heather McDonald. Yeah, she's not Heather McDonald.
That's true.
Not that they know who she is, but the point is it's a name. You gotta say it. You gotta say it the way it's said. Just call McDonald's.
Yeah, you're right.
Old McDonald. All right, let's see. First McDonald's breakfast commercial targeting black Americans in 1979.
Untrue it is.
All right, here it is. Sorry. Do we have that? Mac.
You're right.
Mama wants to get to church. She's been waiting up since dawn. She wishes I would hurry up and get some breakfast on. But after working hard all week, I'd like to get my rest. So we head for McDonald's just as soon as we get dressed. Scrambled eggs and sausage and hash browns. Hotcakes and sausage too.
They're not getting to church. I'll tell you this right now.
Something good for everyone. Fresh and hot, cooked just right, top quality, and the price is light. Breakfast at McDonald's. Suits my family. And since we're gonna get to church on time, Mama's proud of me. At McDonald's.
Yeah, I like it.
You know what I
love
miss?
the all black McDonald commercial.
I miss when we had black families.
Yes.
Now it's just everyone's broken up, you know?
But see, we know the root of McDonald. They signed off on that.
They
it
did.
was on the show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You can't fault them if coming down.
Everybody got to call it
Didn't
McDonald's.
didn't one of the guys from the big ad agency go, look, it's
yeah, he was in a room with a bunch of black actors and he was like, all right,
call it what you like, but that's not what it is. Wow.
Those pancakes look pretty good. See, there's my inner fat.
Oh, yeah.
Out.
It all looked good.
It did, yeah.
That was 79. They had a black McDonald's.
Black McDonald's.
Black Donald's?
Black McDonald's. I own my own Black McDonald's in the neighborhood. Okay.
Hey, I got a wild tweet here. Here's a video on X. Woman faced backlash after complaining for being seated between two overweight passengers on the plane.
I have very strong feelings about this. It's an older thing, I think, but it's unearthed or something. But I think there's film of it or tape of it or something.
There's video. Yeah, there's video from
As
X.
a former fat person, I want to say you have every right to discriminate against fat people. We're doing it to ourselves.
Well, I mean, also, you've got to... let's just show the tape. You can't have two huge people and expect someone to take the middle seat.
An airline passenger stuck in the middle seat resorts to fat-shaming her seatmates.
Oh my goodness, I don't know how I'm going to do this the next 4 hours.
It happened just before takeoff on a United Airlines flight from Las Vegas to Newark, New Jersey. Norma Rogers, an oncology nurse who once appeared on the Dr.
She
Oz
ate at
show,
McDonald's
our
one too many times.
Appreciation episode, was seated next to the fat shamer. The nurse's travel companion
fat
was in
shamer.
the aisle seat. Rogers flagged down a flight attendant.
Excuse me. Can you find her another seat? Because I will not be verbally abused by this or anybody else.
I can't sit here because it's both so big on left and right. I can't even sit here.
The flight attendant offered the fat shamer a new seat. As
Hold
the
on
woman
a
gets
second.
up-
You see how they're making her the perpetrator?
I know.
You who does some diet and some exercise are sitting in between two tubagoos, and
She's the problem, by the way.
right, she's the fat shamer. This is who we're attacking in our society. Those airline seats are made for 185 max.
All right. You're hitting a little close to home over here.
195 max. They're not made for 400 pounds. They're not, but neither is the roller coaster at Magic Mountain. Like, hey, you can eat your way out of certain things.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
That's correct.
And if you have one on one side and the other on the other side, you are not. There is no lucite that you're pressed up against. It's you're slopping into the next seat. That's gravity. Man.
You're
That's how it
literally
works.
in my seat.
I purchased a seat. And I know spaces. Those seats, visually, those seats are like 18, 19 inches wide, like max. They're not. This is 24 inches. They're not 24. They're 21 or they're 19 or whatever they are. If you got 3 inches encroachment on the right and 3 inches encroachment on the left, you're taking up 30% of my seat.
Yeah.
I bought that.
It's just math.
It's all just real estate. You buy real estate on a plane.
Why didn't she buy, since she and her fat husband were going to be sitting together, why didn't they buy the middle seat and then they wouldn't have had this problem? And then do you see how they have to do it because they've been emboldened by this media that tells them that they should never be ashamed of anything and they're entitled to everything.
Right, you're killing them.
She's verbally abusing me. By the way, you're actually abusing me with your fat body.
Mm-hmm.
And she's verbally abusing me. And then even the news, the fat shamer. Oh, I wonder if that news guy would like to sit in between two tubalards.
I like to do it. I just snuggle right up and go to sleep.
All right, sorry, there's a couple seconds left.
I gotta also say, being on a plane with Indians who fart all the time, I'm not a fan of this. Not a fan of this.
Yeah.
Both so big on left and right. I can't even sit here.
The flight attendant offered the fat shamer
The
a new
fat
seat.
shamer.
As the woman gets up, she delivers one more insult.
Hell yeah.
I eat salad.
Other passengers were outraged.
Why don't you sit in the seat?
I love that everyone's outraged.
She's making a lot of good points.
I know.
This was just the norm. This is what I'm saying. Like a few years ago, this was just the norm. This is how you would talk to fatties.
Yes, the audience. I love that the other passengers were outraged. Like, go fucking, you sweat your ass off sitting in between those two.
Well, again, easy virtue. They don't have that,
Listen. Here's the deal. Said it once, say it a million times. Forget about weighing your luggage. Weigh your luggage. Bring as much lard in your ass as you want. Pack as much shit in your bag as you want. But you will be charged when you go. Remember those places that had the salad that you weighed back in the day? And you load up and then you weigh them.
Oh yeah.
And at the end you can spend a lot. You can spend $26 on a salad if you load it up. But if the guy behind you is going light, then his is like $9. But what you want to live in a world where you go, all right, that guy loaded up, he's $26. You went light, you're $9. Why don't you both pay $19? It's like, no, that guy weighs that much. That's what he weighs. They do it with your bags.
Yep.
Just do it with you. Just everyone weighs in. Everyone weighs in.
You're gonna have a lot of women crying.
See, I've argued this a lot. Yes, but women mayhem. What were you at max peak capacity?
185. I was like 185.6.
That was max fitness capacity.
Oh yeah,
That was my fitness weight too.
Max load.
280.
280.
Yeah. I was 100 pounds off my fight weight before.
What? Look, women are catching up, but men traditionally weigh 50 pounds more than women.
Yeah, not me. Sorry.
So, all right, but even mayhem would weigh more than you.
Yeah, he would. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
And even at peak, 280, you were actually 50 pounds more than me at peak, guys.
Okay.
227 at peak.
Okay. All right. So your fighting weight, heavyweight was that weight. Okay. Why shouldn't Mayhem pay more than you, is what I'm saying.
Well, he's not going to spill into my seat.
And women who go, whoa, women aren't going to like this. But if the average woman, what does the average woman weigh now?
175 pounds, and she's size 12 and 5'4" or 5'5".
Really?
Yeah.
Is that average?
Yeah, they're pretty fat now.
That is sad.
Yeah.
But if that's true, the average dude is still bigger.
Oh, yeah.
So women would pay, on average, less for their airline ticket than men. And you wouldn't subsidize us, is what I'm saying.
There'd be a lot of people spitting into a cup right before stepping on the scale.
I'd have the guy, my trainer, hold the towel out in front of me because I get naked. Not stripped down.
Drop your chonies.
Got to take your shoes off. Every woman knows that. Take your shoes off. Make sure you
piss.
go to the bathroom. If you're lucky, you get to poop before you step on the scale.
Stand on your head.
Yeah.
I know all the tricks.
Stand on your head.
Yeah.
What's that do?
Yeah, put all the blood in your head and then lean over.
Oh, we move your fat noggin off to the side. That's a
I'm going to try that.
I'm going to try that too.
Got me out of trouble before.
All right, Dawson, what is the average woman weigh? Is it really 175?
It might be a little more than that, actually.
1 second. I had it. Let me get it back.
All right. More and 5'4", did you say?
170.8 pounds
See?
for 20 years of age.
20?
She's like a size 12, right?
40 to 59-year-olds weigh 176.
Wow.
So I was pretty good.
You're right there.
Jeez.
And the average height, in case you want it, is 5'4".
Yeah.
That doesn't bode well. That is not good. What's the average dude weigh, though? We'll see how much we can save you on these airline tickets, because it's going to be more. It's going to be more. And wouldn't it be nice? Then you could pack an extra 40 pounds worth of luggage for free,
That would
essentially.
be great. Yeah.
All right. I'll let you find that, Dawson. Anna's out there. So speaking of fat, she'll figure out a way to keep you from getting fat. We'll talk to her in a second. United States average man, age 20, is 5'9", and tall, weighs 200 pounds, basically. So we still got 25 or 30 for the 20-year-old. We got 30 pounds on it. You pay that much more when you buy your ticket.
I think everybody just weighs more these days. People, if you go back and look, people used to be so tiny. It's kind of
talk about it all the time on the show. Yeah, there's everybody's on a digital lifestyle, sitting in their car nonstop. It's just how we are in America.
Yeah.
This crazy part is Anna's friend and my friend Vinny Tortorich always brings up. He goes, "Look at a picture from Woodstock.
Yeah.
Skinny as shit.
Real skinny.
Skinny. Oh, we were watching here the other day. Dawson, you may know what it is. There's a video out there that is like parking lot interviews in New Jersey from 1987 when, not Motley Crue, but like
Metallica.
No, was it Metallica?
I think so, yeah.
Would you watch that vid with me?
I did, yeah.
Yeah. Was it Metallica? I thought it was another Judas Priest.
Yeah, you're right.
I think it was Judas Priest. And they were interviewing everyone in the parking lot they were tailgating. Look at the size of these dudes.
Well, that woman's a little thick.
The woman's a little thick. The dudes are bony as shit.
Yeah.
Like when you watch it, every dude has their shirt off and you can see like every...
Because like processed food was not the way it is.
I mean, these guys weigh 137 pounds.
Yeah. I think they're each probably about 170. That guy's probably one. Guys weigh more than they look like.
Guys weigh more, but that ain't 170, man.
Maybe he's 160, that guy.
Oh, there's one fat guy.
We got a couple Mexicans. Whoa, they're looking to Metallica. How do you like that? See, Mexicans used to assimilate.
Yeah. Now, one's wearing a Metallica shirt, and the other's wearing Iron Maiden, so now I'm confused. All right.
They don't know what it is. They just got there.
It's Iron Maiden, I guess. And look, they're skinny as shit. I watched this whole video with Mayhem, and they're all skinny as shit. Everyone was skinny. This is 87. It's not 67.
Yeah.
And this is New Jersey. You know what I mean? It's not Bangladesh.
Yeah, that's when they started putting corn into everything. Corn syrup, corn,
Yep. And
subsidizing.
palm oil. Yeah.
Lots of chemicals, messing with people's hormones.
Yep. All right, Leonardo. This has been fun.
Yeah, I had a great time. Thank you, guys.
I'm going to put your website out there.
Thank you.
LeonardoIsFunny.com. And she is, because I've seen her do stand-up.
Yep, and they can check out my YouTube. It's the same thing. Leonardo is funny.
All right, you got some news there, Rudy, do you?
Let's do it, huh?
Let's do it.
California Governor Gavin Newsom's characterizations of his humble origins are raising some eyebrows, given his family ties to the late billionaire heir Gordon Getty. During a recent appearance, Newsom recounted that his mother, who divorced from his father when he was young, hustled when he was growing up. I
love it.
Yeah, my mom was 19, pregnant, and divorced a few years later with 2 kids. Came from no money and just hustled. Worked hard, grinding every single day, 2.5 jobs, no bullshit. We had roommates all the time because she couldn't afford the rent. And throughout his career, Newsom has told similar hardscrabble stories about living in poverty, about the time that for example, he claimed to have slept on the couch while his sister slept in a hallway because his mother had to rent out the spare bedroom.
It's kind of interesting. I was thinking sort of the mindset on this. Newsom grew up with privilege. His dad was a judge. His dad was a judge that was pretty favorable to the Getty family, and then later on became in charge of the Getty Trust of like $4 billion or whatever. So his dad was a heavy hitter lawyer.
Oh my God, this
judge, rich guy. And that's where he came from, Bay Area. Look, there's certain indicators, and people should just know the indicators. Like, if you open a winery at 25, you probably have some money, some family, some backing, or what have you. But I was kind of trying to picture the psychodynamic of it, and we'll hear him. Let's listen to him, and then I'll tell you what I think.
But also, it was also about paying the bills, man.
Yeah, man.
And it was just like hustling. and so I was out there kind of raising myself. Turning on the TV, started, just getting obsessed, sitting there with the Wonder Bread and 5 stacks of,
it's like the White Stack Farm story.
Come on. Macaroni and cheese. Come on.
Are you talking about me?
Yo, YG.
YG,
But
man.
every day in the backyard, just bouncing the basketball, throwing the ball against the wall until the ball is just like fraying, man. And your arms fall off.
Come on, man.
The whole thing.
All right.
And then,
so you know what I realized? Obviously, he grew up with privilege.
Sure.
And his Nancy Pelosi and the whole thing. And okay, fine. Dad. Okay. You can do a bullshit thing where your parents got divorced, but if your dad is handling the Getty Trust for $4 billion, you're fine.
Doing okay.
Okay. Now, here's what I realized, though, as I was trying to really think about it. He claims he was this. Like, he grew up this way. He grew up this way. I don't know what. We'll play a clip of him. Here's him talking to me about growing up with a single mom. Let's put it to you this way.
You want to talk some more?
Everyone wants to talk about an even playing field. I tell people there's no such thing as an even playing field. Some people grow up with rich people. Some people grow up, their dads own factories they can work at. Some people grow up poor. I grew up poor. I don't know where you grew up, somewhere in between.
Mama worked 2 jobs, and we were a foster family. And
some people, So everyone grew up somewhere different. Sometimes your ethnicity holds you back.
And by the way, in a divorced household where my mother stepped up and stepped in, and just because my dad wasn't there didn't mean I had no damn chance. There were other factors.
Well, he was there for a while.
He was there for 1.5 years.
Really?
Yeah.
When did he cut out?
I was an 18-year-old pregnant mother, had me at 19, my sister at 20, and they were divorced 1.5 years later. And now he's still played a role in our lives.
All right, so he grew up hard scrabble rich.
Yeah.
Okay. But as I was thinking about this, I was like, all right, let's try to figure out this dynamic. You can clear the screen if you like. I grew up poor. And I didn't grow up like poor sharecropper poor. I grew up about as poor as you could be in the 70s in Los Angeles, which is not Kansas in the 20s. Mm-hmm. That was a different kind of poor. That's
Dust Bowl.
Yeah, waiting long lines wearing dress shoes.
Yeah.
poor with dress shoes.
Yeah.
Now we have poor with Air Jordans.
Yeah.
And that's a different kind of poor. So now there's poor with a smartphone and poor with cable and poor with Uber.
Yeah.
And, that's not really poor. But I grew up about as poor as you could be in sort of semi-modern Los Angeles. And food stamps and welfare and that kind of stuff. And then I realized I have a totally different perspective on poor people. Like, poor people that I grew up with were fucking lazy and they're complainers. And my mom could have got a job, but she didn't really want a job. And she'd rather get welfare and food stamps and complain about the government. And most of the people I hung out with, their parents were kind of like, and they weren't exactly hustlers. They didn't work weekends. They like to smoke. They like to drink. They like to watch TV. Like, they were kind of poor for a reason.
Yeah.
Which is they didn't get their fucking hustle on. Like, they didn't make the hay while the sun was shining. Some of it was like substance abuse. Some of it was just kind of a basic low IQ, kind of dullard, kind of stupid, Part of it was like them kind of trying to game the system a lot, kind of get their hustle on a little bit, like, I don't mean hustle like hustle movement. I mean like bullshit hustle. Like we would, if there was free spaghetti night at the church, we'd go down there. We didn't have any business getting free spaghetti at the church. My mom could have made spaghetti at home, but this was free.
Sure.
So why not stand in line? Lots of like tell the school to get the lunch tickets and all that shit. But as far as I could tell, a lot of underachieving bullshitters who drank a little too much, who had a couple of vices, who gambled a little even though they had no business gambling, and kind of were more into fixing up their own chopper than paying for their kids' braces or saving up for college.
Sure.
It was on them.
Yeah.
And I was like, you guys are fucking dumb and you're lazy and you're depending on the government to bail you out, but it's not because you're not able-bodied. You're just fucking dumb and lazy and you don't fucking want to do anything. Like, you're not, and sort of narcissistic. Like, just like, hey, man, I could go do this and go do that on a Saturday, but I want to hang around and have a beer and relax.
Yeah. When people will say things like they'll look at maybe somebody who is 50 years old will see another person who's 50 years old and they'll go, oh my God, do I look that old? And you're like, no, you look older than that.
Right.
I would love for people to hear people talk about the race to the bottom. I grew up hard scrabble. I grew up with this. I grew up with that. And then afterwards play them the tape and go, by the way, you sound like that, but way more whiny.
Yeah.
Wouldn't they just go, oh shit, I sound like an asshole?
So the thing about Newsom is I was trying to break it down in my head when he was lying about his hard scrabble. He did not grow up that way. So he may have a sympathy for these people because he doesn't know them.
Sure.
And so the people that don't know these people are constantly like, these are hardworking, proud people who are just looking for a hand up, not a hand. No, they're fucking lazy people who want the government to fucking pay them and then complain nonstop about rich people not paying their taxes when they don't pay jack shit for taxes or do anything for anybody. Yeah. I know them. They're not proud. They're fucking dumb. They're dumb and they're basically lazy and they do a lot of pushing off on the government and the people, like sort of blaming the old man or the lady or the whatever. They do a lot of externalizing. They're fucking lazy and they're not very motivated and they don't have much ingenuity at all. They're just like, they're not here to do anything but take care of themselves, and that's how they roll. And then their kids, because they're not being taken care of, essentially just drift off early, and they drop out of high school, and they smoke early, and they drink early, and they get shitty jobs, and they follow the trajectory because there was no guardrails, there's no college savings, there's no tutelage, there's no guidance, there's this. As a matter of fact, the kids are like a liability, and they want those kids to get the fuck out of the house so they don't have to deal with somebody who wants food. They don't want mac and cheese all the time, So I got a front row seat to these people, and there's nothing proud about them at all. And it's not just me. My friends' parents were like, I was just saying how my friend, I was saying yesterday, my best friend, Chris' dad, I mean, we live in an apartment together. His dad had to come stay with us for a month before he checked himself into prison. And he was like 48. You know what I mean? Like, these are fuck up losers. Not proud anything. Yeah. They're fucking grifters who'll take as much free shit as they can get their fucking hands on.
There's nothing sadder than seeing the mom and dad with the goddamn sign at the end of the exit ramp, and they got 2 little kids with them. And every time I'm like, you are showing those kids the worst possible. You never want to end up like this. And why are you showing them that this is an example of how you get by?
Yes.
It's awful.
So, but I realize Newsom never saw that because he's lying. He's lying about this, like Kamala Harris has to lie about working at McDonald's. Lie about hardscrabble because that's their constituency. And in their world, somehow, in order to do something for black people, you have to talk black or keep hot sauce in your purse or some sort of bullshit. Hey, man, I lived on mac and cheese, man. I played basketball, man. I love Fat Albert. Man, I love that cartoon, Fat Albert. Ooh. Yeah. So he's full of shit. He doesn't know it, and he thinks these people need it. I lived it. I saw it. They don't need it. Like, he sent out I think it's one of your stories about Snap getting cut off or whatever.
Yep.
He sent out a tweet last night, Newsom did, about 40 million people going to be not denied access to food, but I love the denied access.
Yeah.
Denied access to food. So do you get yourself an In-N-Out burger, someone's going to slap it out of your hands from the government?
There's that word literally again.
Yes.
Literally.
Yeah, so it says Donald Trump is literally dancing in Asia while 40 million people lose access to food. You don't lose access to food. You lose access to me buying you food.
Yeah.
You can go get your own food. Hey, Dawson, you're eating right now.
Yep.
Did I buy you that food?
Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah, all right. You work here. Did I remove access for you to get that food?
Nope.
No, you bought that food with your money. That's your food.
Well,
there's not access. Everyone has access to food, just like you have access to birth control if you work at Hobby Lobby. Now, Hobby Lobby may not buy your birth control, but you still have access.
Maybe access is one of his words, though. Remember, he said these people don't have access to checking accounts.
Right. So here's the thing. Why do I have access to everything, and these people have access to nothing? First off, these 40 million people, 37 million of them are morbidly obese. They're all fat.
Yeah.
These people have access to fat reserves that are going to keep them going for at least 5 days.
Oh, God.
At least. A fucking 48-hour fast would be the best thing that ever happened to these lazy fat asses. Number one. So they don't have access to food. Okay, so let's cut them off. Do they wither and die on the vine? I'll bet they find a way to eat.
Yeah.
That's me. I'm optimistic that way. Yeah. But I wrote they should explore the possibility of getting their own food. I know it sounds crazy. And I know, see, Democrats, and especially Newsom, looks at himself as a zookeeper, and they're the animals, and he's in charge of slopping the animals, and they will perish if he doesn't slop them. What he doesn't understand is they can go out and hunt and get their own food, and he's not the zookeeper, and they're not in cages. They have free will.
Yeah. Every time somebody talks about universal health care and they go, it's the right, that's why we'll never get universal health care. I saw a woman the other day drinking a Nestle's chocolate milk, like the half gallon of it, drinking it at a bus stop while simultaneously smoking a cigarette while being 85 pounds overweight. And I thought, maybe that's the reason right there. Like, we can't take care of ourselves. Maybe
Cannot
that's it.
judge. So 40 million people are not going to have access to food. I've never, again, I've been poor, You find food.
Yeah.
Like I found it at my friend's house a lot of times. You figure it out. Just like if you're homeless, you find a place to live unless you're a junkie, in which case you don't. Do we have Josh Gardner? We can work it out, by the way. Haven't heard the song in a while. I like it, but it kind of reminds me of AOC talking about what the Indians do.
We can make it work. We can make it happen. Every man, woman, and child throughout the land. Gotta do our part. Gotta love our brother, man. We all got to get together, lend a helping hand. Blacks are good at sports, Jews at making money, and Greek folks used to be good at a lot of things. Swedish chicks are hot, French folks are saucy, and Puerto Ricans boogie to that crazy beat. Albanians love sheep, Hispanics love relaxing, and Irish people value good times over family.
All right, we got it. They value good times over family.
Mm-hmm. Great line, man. Great line.
Yeah.
One of the things we're talking about, people.
All right, wait. Let's hear AOC again because that reminds me we can work it out. Yeah. So basically, the Indians boogie to their own crazy beat.
So funny.
Is essentially what goes on. She's great. All right, here it is. Let's see.
This city was built by the Irish escaping famine, Italians fleeing fascism, Jews escaping Holocaust, Black Americans fleeing slavery and Jim Crow, Latinos seeking a better life, Native people standing for themselves, Asian Americans coming together in Queens, in Brooklyn, in the Bronx, in Manhattan, in Staten Island.
Jesus Christ. Fucking just talk. Just go do something. Would you fucking build something? All right. It's weird, but it's attractive.
Yeah.
It's people like the process.
Yeah. Yeah, because you look at everybody behind her just nodding their heads the whole time. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they hate that. It's part of the reason also it's two parts. A, they love process. They love to talk about stuff, but they get really shamed and agitated if you just start building shit without them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like so the ballroom fucks them up. They don't like Trump in his ballroom, and they're so agitated because if you really think about it, what's the ballroom? I don't know. It's a ballroom that they need because they used to do shit in a tent with wet grass, and then Trump's donors are going to pay for it.
Yeah.
So your thing as a Democrat should be, I don't know, knock yourself out.
Sure.
Also, I don't know what Trump is. Is Trump 79? Like, he's going to turn 80? He's going to be out of there at 83?
Mm-hmm.
How much ballroom use is that guy going to really get? I mean, I don't know. You can look it up. But the ballroom is going to take 2 years to finish.
Yeah.
And he's 80. So how much of this is going to be used by him?
Yeah.
I would say future generations will probably be able to use the ballroom more than him. But you should be neither here nor there on the ballroom, but they get agitated. And I've definitely experienced this with roommates where you go like, why don't we clean up? And they go, I'm not going to, you go, fine, I'll start. And you start cleaning around them and they get pissy.
Oh, yeah.
They get really shitty.
Yeah.
Like when the room was finished in the basement.
Yeah.
Because it shames them.
Yeah, it shames them. Absolutely. Yeah. And it's the ultimate troll to add something onto the White House that's going to stand the test of time. And it's going to be a giant reminder, a big, F you to everybody who hated that guy. Did you see the video he posted the other day of him flying the fighter jet, dropping shit all over the No Kings protesters?
Yeah.
Like, the guy they should teach a class on how to troll people, and it would just be all of the stuff that he posts.
I think they will. 2000, hold on. Experts interviewed with New York Times described a proposed timetable for the completion of 2029 is optimistic. So not 2 years than like 4 years is optimistic. Trump's going to be out of office and well into his 80s, so I don't know how much booging to that crazy beat he's going to be doing in that ballroom.
Yeah.
That'll just be for other people.
Yeah. Let's move on. Laugh Factory Chicago manager arrested for allegedly interfering with ICE. A manager at the Laugh Factory Chicago was arrested by mass federal agents, and the wild encounter with law enforcement was caught on video. Night manager Nathan
You ever
Griffin,
been there?
I have been there. I've met Nate real quick in passing. I don't know him very well. I mean, seriously, we shook hands real quick. I don't really know him, and he meets a million people a day. But yeah, I saw this the other day.
Is that in downtown Chicago?
Maybe it was downtown. They do talk about how this was definitely in Chicago. It happened in front of his mother, who was in town visiting, but doesn't give an exact. You know what? Actually, it said it was outside of the club. That was the first report that I had seen. It's not in this from TMZ.
Nate white guy or Nate Hispanic guy?
Nate white guy.
Oh, okay.
Beard. Yeah.
Okay, so they're doing battle with ICE.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as anything happening without women screaming what's going on. Women are going nuts.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. You know, it's funny. The guy who's being handcuffed and zip-tied and tackled is not making a peep. But every woman around is screaming at the top of their lungs, what the fuck are you doing? It's crazy. So that's him on the ground?
That's him on the ground.
Now, how did he get to there?
You know, they don't show that in the video, but from what some of the reports were with that is that he was interfering with law enforcement while they were possibly interrogating somebody or making an arrest, and that's where that was the first initial meeting that he had with police officers and ICE, and then this is where it ended up. But they don't show. There's no video that shows before that.
There's something going on, and I think we need to put a PSA out because we haven't really gotten the message. If you fuck around with cops or ICE or uniform, whatever, they just take you down.
Yeah.
But for some reason, we have a lot of bravado. It's sort of like every once in a while you see a blonde chick slap a black dude, and it's like, he's going to counter that with a stiff right cross. Like, I know you think nothing's going to happen because you're a girl and he's a guy and he's not going to, and we're in public. He's going to.
Yeah.
So don't do it. And there's a weird thing. Women have more than men, which I keep seeing, which is they run up to the ICE guy and they start shoving him and screaming and stuff like, bitch, you're going down to the asphalt.
Yeah.
And then when you go down to the asphalt, don't scream what's going on.
You're surprised by it.
I like the surprise part. I would never be surprised if I tried to fight a cop. So if you get in on them and you start pushing on them or blocking them or whatever, then you go to the ground. Now you can go, why are they there? Oh, I don't know. Well, what right do they have to be there? I don't know. Well, is it good or bad or right or wrong that they're there? That's all a secondary question.
Yeah.
It's the first part where you push on them. Don't do it.
Yeah.
You'll go down to the ground. And then they'll go, why? And it's like, well, because you pushed on them. And then they'll go, but they weren't even, they're in the wrong building.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but you pushed on them. So now you're on the ground.
Yeah, I think if you play the video a little bit more, you'll actually see, I think the women that are in this video go a little bit more bonkers than what they already are. Like, they kind of really start to...
That's
You
good.
can bring it up, yeah.
So there's two people on the ground.
There's two people on the ground. I don't know if the one is... Because he was with his mom, and I don't know if one of them was his mom that was on the ground with him.
I don't know. I don't think my mom would ever jump in.
Oh, yeah, not a chance.
I called on officer. You're just as much a fuck.
Everybody is fighting. We have to go to you. Why are you doing this? Where are you taking him? Where are you taking him? Where are you taking him?
Where are we taking him? He's going to Honduras to open a comedy club. He's going to open for Jose Feliciano in Honduras. Where are you taking him? He'll be fine.
Yeah. In a post that came up by Nathan's brother-in-law, they put out a GoFundMe for legal fees.
Hold on. I would like to hear the chick scream a little more.
Oh.
Or just a little more. That's okay. I love women screaming. Women are so miserable now. It's so sad. That's all our fault.
Yeah, in a GoFundMe that was posted by his brother-in-law for legal fees, it turns out that after 4 hours after being detained, he did pop up in FBI custody. Where he's at now, it doesn't say.
He's at the Zanies in Guadalajara. He's opened the Zanies in Guadalajara.
Yeah. Should we go on to Zohan Mamdani's?
Yeah.
Dude, so this.
I love this guy.
Oh, my God. This guy.
I love him.
Unbelievable. So Zoran Mamdani's dad claims that Nazis took direct cues from the United States. Mamdani, 34, has often credited his father.
People, why? Why do people listen to their dads? I thought the whole point, it's like, you think I'd do anything that Jim Carolla did or told me to do? I'm like, I'd do the opposite of what that guy said to do.
I've always said, I figured it out early on. If I just do exactly opposite of the people in my life while growing up, I'll be successful. And so far, things are working out.
I did the same thing. I was like, if I just do the opposite of what Rudy's dad would do, I'll be a success. But I have a West Coast version of that, which is Jim Carolla. And I'm going to just do the opposite of what he would do. He wasn't even a bad guy, but he wasn't successful at all. So I was like, I'll just do the opposite. But this is Zoram's dad. What about his aunt, though, who was forced not to ride the subways? That was my favorite story.
So this is where he said that his aunt
we'll listen to the dad for a second.
Yeah.
I love it. He's a good guy.
America is the genesis of what we call settler colonialism. And the American model was exported all around the world. Abraham Lincoln generalized the solution of reservations. They herded American Indians into separate territories. For the Nazis, this was the inspiration. Hitler realized two things. One, that genocide was doable.
All right. Pause it. I don't want to sound like a broken record, but what are you doing here if it's so bad? If everything's so bad all the time and your native Uganda is a miracle wonderland where it's Xanadu, where people and unicorns frolic, then just fucking go there. Just go there then. I really, not for me, for you. It's so much better. It's so much better. Just go there.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. I love the aunt. I love Zoran's aunt, who the poor woman was scared to ride the subway with the hijab on.
Yeah.
Because it is a great story. Yeah. It's great.
It's funny because he had basically said it seems like she was the real victim of 9/11 who was scared of taking the bus while wearing her hijab.
Right. But let's just... All right, just play it for a second. Let's say.
I want to use this moment to speak to the Muslims of New York City.
Good. Let's talk to them. What's going on, Muslims? New York City. It's getting emotional.
I want to speak to the memory of my aunt. Who stopped taking the subway after September 11th because she did not feel safe in her hijab.
Okay, let me just say this. We do this thing. It's like, by the way, his aunt didn't live in New York, didn't wear a hijab, and wasn't here during that time period.
Yeah, you want to feel unsafe? Wear a Blue Jays hat down to the Dodger Stadium today. That's a feeling of unsafe.
She was in Tanzania or something, I think. I can't read it from here. But she wasn't in the country. She wasn't on the subway. She didn't have a job. But other than that, it's a perfectly accurate story. Just like Kamala Harris is, working at McDonald's, and Gavin growing up hard scrabble. It's a great parable, except for it never happened.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, after 9/11, there was a lot of hey, there's a thing where some guy driving a Ram truck yelled at a guy at a 7-Eleven because he was wearing a turban. It's like, did he put his hands on him? No. It's really not that bad, considering 3,000 people are dead and, the towers are gone.
Sure.
I feel like as a nation, I don't know what you're expecting, but I don't know that the Middle East folks would have done much better. And here's all I'm saying. If I was just living in Iraq and they had a financial center with two big skyscrapers and the Rams team plane flew into it and took them both down. And then I was like, why can't I wear my Rams hat on the subway the next day?
Yeah.
Someone would go, because you shouldn't.
Yeah.
You know, and I go, why not? I wasn't flying that plane. I can't wear my Rams hat. No, I just for a couple months.
Yeah.
This is bullshit, man. By the way, I would be torn apart limb from limb if I put my Rams hat on and went down to the subway in Tehran the next morning. So this thing, now obviously this never happened, so he's just a fucking liar. More victim shit, more sympathy shit. I get it. That's how you run. You run on pretending you're poor and pretending you're a victim. Zoran has to pretend he's poor and he's a victim at the same time. He's rich and he's not a victim, and your aunt didn't even fucking live here. But keep lying. And by the way, the people that vote for this guy, you should have thoughts about continuous lying.
Yeah, they're okay with it when he lies. But when Trump lies, when anybody else on the right lies, now they're the worst people. I can't believe that people vote for these people. Put them into power.
Also, there's a weird thing. I don't mind the lie that said you won the golf championship at the club.
Yeah.
Or you're all Central Valley or something in high school or something. I don't like it. I don't mind it for some reason. The victim lie bothers me more. And I don't know why, but my aunt couldn't wear the hijab. Also, first off, you can take a cab for 3 months.
Sure.
You don't have to ride the subway. Also, nobody did anything to your aunt. Oh, by the way, your aunt didn't ride the subway. But if she did, no one would have put hands on her. Yes, maybe she got a look. Okay, I'd say it's a small price to pay.
Yeah. I had a guy this weekend tell me that at the age of 17 went on tour playing for Earth, Wind, and Fire, and then was also a colonel in the Army. I'm like, wow, they give you enough time from Earth, Wind, and Fire to go work your way up the ranks of the U.S. military. And he was like, yep, totally happened. I was like, you do realize, dude, this is it's a easy Google search to find out.
I know.
But I don't even care. Who cares? I know it's bullshit, but it was a fun lie.
They found Zoran's aunt, his only aunt, was living in Tanzania and not wearing a hijab in 10 minutes and then put it up. I don't know why. But again, I don't know. You said you worked at McDonald's. It's discernible.
Yeah.
Not bothersome that you didn't.
No.
All right. We will take a little break. Eric Trump is going to join us. Rudy, you got dates. La Jolla Comedy Store coming up.
Yeah.
November 7th to the 9th. And then Heavy Rotation Brewing in Minnesota or Minneapolis.
Yeah, Minneapolis. Yeah, it'll be a good one. That's a Black Friday. So right after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, get it on. Got to get it on. No choice but to mandate. Get it on. Welcome to the show. Erica Rhodes, beautiful and funny comedian, is going to join us a little bit later. Dawson's got some news. He's in the studio. Lots to get into with Dawson. So, I don't know. Let's just get to the news. What do you got?
Let's talk about the No Kings or the No Jobs rally from yesterday. Supposed to be nationwide, worldwide. They're alleging that millions of Americans were out protesting No Kings. We got a great video of a protest in Malibu.
In Malibu?
One of your friends was out there running the show. Let's watch this.
So Kathy Griffin?
This is Kathy Griffin.
Looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Tell me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like.
She's doing that move.
I had no idea. I was in Malibu all day yesterday.
This is what democracy looks like.
Now, somebody drives up here.
This is what democracy looks like.
There's some video here. People drive up, and I can't really tell if they're telling people to get the hell out of the road or if they're honking because they support this rally.
The honk is ambiguous.
Yeah.
Donald Trump has got to go.
This guy's like, lady, get the hell out of my way.
Yeah, the Malibu crew's a little conservative. All right, we can pause it. Look, a couple things. This thing, so people argue. They go, we had 10 million people show up. During COVID, I talked to 200 million retarded people who didn't know jack shit about anything. and we're scared and cowards and lied and we're wrong about everything. So should I have talked to another 10 million retarded people who didn't fucking know anything? Or what if there were 200 million retarded people?
They won't hear you.
My whole point is take your fucking numbers game and shove it up your ass.
Right.
If you trying to sell me post-COVID, we got a bunch of Americans that are we got a big number of people.
Right.
I literally, during COVID, was on an island surrounded by a sea of retarded people who were wrong.
Yeah.
So, yes, I was outnumbered. But you want to play the numbers game? Well, all right. There was just me and a couple other people. And then there was this mass herd of dumb people that were incorrect and or lying.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. They go, 10 million people showed up or 3 million people. 3 million dumb shits showed up. That doesn't... Listen, we live in a country where 100 million people put ketchup on a hot dog and like Hall & Oates. So what do you want me to tell you? Does that make them smart? Or does that make them correct, is what I'm saying? No, it makes them fucking idiots. Most people are idiots. So the numbers game is a weird one to play. The other one, in California, like... People are like, no kings. It's like,
oh, God.
no kings.
Yeah, no
There's
kings.
a guy 3 miles from here that built a beautiful tree house on his property 20 years ago, and 3 months ago, the government showed up and tore it down. That's governmental overreach. The other stuff where they close the border or they're fucking around with tariffs or they want to lower the corporate tax rate or something, that's governmental shit. Government showing up on your property and tearing down a structure that you built. That's overreach, and that is no problemo in Los Angeles. So we vote for the guy who closes the beaches, who bulldozes the skate parks, who closes the
restaurants
parks,
and
closes restaurants and business and churches, and welds rebar over the rims of
Leaves
basketball
the pot stores and strip clubs open.
Right, and shuts down the parks and closes schools.
Schools.
That's not a king.
That's not a king. No.
Throwing you out of your business and shutting your kid's school down and shutting the beach down, arresting you in the bay for paddleboarding. That's not kingly behavior, according to Californians. So fuck right off.
Well, the complete idiocy and hypocrisy of this whole thing is being noted by several conservatives. Britt Hume says the No Kings rallies are mostly a protest against a man who sought power 3 times through democratic elections and enacted his major agenda item by majority vote of democratically elected members of Congress. Some king. They're saying no kings. And the man was democratically elected, won the popular vote, and is allowing you to protest.
Yeah, it's also... I don't know why this stuff is not wildly unsatisfying to people. It's a kind of chick thing. I have this big article that somebody sent me that explains where we're at as a society. It's chick think. And we fucked up our society with chick think. It's an interesting article. Maybe I'll get to it today. But in the article, it basically says that, which I've been saying my whole life, or at least the last 20 years of my life, women like the process. They're into the process. They break off. They discuss stuff. They discuss it again. They discuss it some more. They get a little emotional. They discuss it the third time. And then they go home and they act like something got done.
Right.
Nothing got done. Like Nithya Raman, our Los Angelino council member, whatever, 2.5 years ago was railing against Toyota because she wanted the catalytic converters not so easily stolen. And that was Toyota's fault. Okay, that's fine. But it's been 2.5 years. What legislation? Did you talk to Toyota? Did they start modifying their manufacturing process for their exhaust systems, for their Priuses? Or did nothing happen? But you felt like something happened. I used to say this all the time to my ex-wife, and it started to dawn on me. Like I'd say, like, "Hey, man, the cable's still out or something," and she'd go, "I called the guy, like you told me. I called him," and I go, "When?" 3 days ago. I go, "What happened?" He didn't pick up. I go, "Okay, so nothing. We're at nothing." We're at nothing. And it used to happen all the time. And then I started to realize she didn't feel like we were at nothing. She felt like we were at sort of or something. You know what I mean? Like she knew we didn't have the cable on, but she felt satiated a little bit. I would say
it's like any movement in a direction is progress.
Right. We didn't have cable, but we had sort of like 40% of cable or part of cable or something. Now, in my brass tacks world, we have nothing.
Right.
Nothing. So it's a kind of a like, you lose the game by 1 point or the race by 1/10 of a second, you just lost. In their world, you kind of almost won, or you may have won or partially won. But go look. It doesn't matter if you got blown out 64-0 or 64-63. It's just an L at the end of the year. But it feels like something. And so I started realizing women, and it's not even really a knock, their wiring is a kind of, this feels like something. Mm-hmm. So they go out and they yell, they have the Million Women's March or the No Kings March, and then they come home and they go, all right. I look at it from a dude on top of dude on top of dude kind of perspective, and I go, I don't get, you guys got nothing done. You just went around, walked around, burned some calories,
shut down some
garbage,
traffic,
shut down some traffic, and then you went home. You didn't. Yeah. I don't know what do you think Trump's doing? What are we doing with this information? I would say the Million Women's March too. I would talk to women like, what are you doing? I'm marching. What do you want? Equality. Like where? In what situation?
Right.
Tell me what you want. No, they wanted to march.
See, none of these auxiliary causes mean anything. The only reason why these people are out on the street is they've been conditioned to hate Donald Trump.
Right. So in this,
that's the only reason why they're there.
And I'll read more in this article. But in this article, it says female groups, this is written by a woman, by the way, female group dynamics favor consensus and cooperation. Men order each other around, but women can only suggest and persuade. Mm-hmm. It's basically, I've said it a million times, these are process. Karen Bass, the LA City Council, and there's dudes who are affected by this. Newsom's this way. Obama's this way. Talk and talk and talk. Like, I'll give you an example. Somebody said to Obama years ago, hey, you're raising the corporate tax rate. You know, when you lower the corporate tax rate, you get more tax revenue because more businesses and more, you just make a deeper pie.
Right.
So you want more money, don't raise the corporate tax rate, lower the corporate tax rate. And he goes, I know, but I don't like the optics of it.
Right, I remember that.
That is fucking chick think.
Right.
Do you want more money in the government's coffers or not? Then just do what. Yeah, but you don't like the way it looks because you want to be the one. You're the guy who hates corporations, I guess, or whatever the optics. It's all optics. Nothing comes out the other end. And if you get a city that's run by these people,
you get LA.
You get LA. You get no. Interesting.
But we're all heroes because we're protesting ICE and Trump.
Yeah, somebody sent me a pic and it made me laugh. It tweeted me a big pile of garbage, just a huge pile of garbage, and it said, but it's what I've been saying for a long time. Thank God we outlawed the plastic straw.
Yeah,
and then we just have huge piles of trash. Well, the point is that's what this is. I used to say all the time, it's like somebody said, and I mean it, I think it's a thing, and I think Newsom does it all the time. I would say, it's like if we were, like if a couple was at dinner at a restaurant with another couple, and they go, how's it going? And the woman was like, well, Steve just redid the garage and put stainless steel German cabinetry in all the garage with full extension, ball bearing, Accuride drawer guides, and all Euro hinges, all stainless steel. I don't know if it's brushed aluminum, honey, or is it stainless polish? Oh, it's brushed nickel. Oh, okay, all right. And I went into this great detail about my garage and all these stainless steel cabinetry and everything in there. And then at some point, I invited the couple over to have dinner. Uh-huh. And they walked in the front door, and there's raccoons in the sink and shit everywhere and garbage all fucked up, you'd go, this is not what's going on. Well, I'm talking about the detail in my garage to get you off the fact that I'm living in a dumpster.
Right.
It's a distraction. Like if you're worried about plastic straws, you must be living in a utopia.
Must be.
Because there can't be zombies on the street stroking out to fentanyl if you're worried about straws. Like if you said, oh, we're going to go, like when you talk about these shitholes in the Middle East, no one ever goes, in Iraq, they're worried about straws, and it's like you go, no, they got ethnic cleansing going on over there. They don't. So when you talk about little stupid detail shit, it distracts people, but it also makes people think everything else is done. Well, you fixed every other problem.
One arm of that is in California. We're so obsessed with climate change and emissions, and yet our traffic system is one of the worst in the world. And so we've got all these big trucks idling, putting out fumes, more fumes than they would if traffic was running normally.
Right.
But you would think that because we care so much, boy, their traffic system must move because and then the wildfires. There must be no wildfires there because they do so much. So it's like they focus on these little optics things.
Yes. I completely agree. They focus on windmills. Meanwhile, there's garbage and homeless and death everywhere.
They focus on windmills and scream at windmills.
Right.
Donald Trump is trolling everybody again this time. This time he went to their home base. Blue Sky was started by, I believe Instagram Meta. I believe it was formed as soon as Musk bought Twitter. Blue Sky was formed, and all of the lefties ran there because they were afraid of truth on Twitter. Donald Trump joined. He joined Blue Sky.
That's great.
This is his first. Hey, everybody, welcome. I'm on Blue Sky.
My fellow Americans, our movement is far from over. In fact, our fight has only just begun. We are one movement, one people, one family, and one glorious nation under God.
Autopen. Oh, I love that.
So with American pride swelling in our hearts.
He's trolling everyone. I love the goals of America.
We will make America great again.
With the sombrero getting bigger.
Sombrero.
Tom Homan.
The sun over the border. Trump's the king. He's the Pope. He's throwing out illegals.
Now, Chuck, I wonder, I'm not sure if it's possible. I just thought of this, though. I wonder if you could just pull up that Blue Sky. I would like to see some of the comments on this.
Well, the thing about X is it was adulterated and corrupted in its past form.
Yes.
Then Elon Musk got it and said, say whatever you want. And the left, by the way, showing their hand, went, we don't trust it anymore.
Right.
Like they have this bizarre thing, which is that if they can't control it, then there's an issue with it. The issue is not that it's corrupted, it's that you can't corrupt it.
Right.
So why don't you just go there and get your fucking information or give your points or read your points and agree and disagree. I'm not sure I've been on X uninterrupted before he bought it. Twitter, obviously, and X now. It's no never mind to me, except for a couple of doctors can have a couple opinions on COVID or something that they weren't, or the election, or whatever it is that they formerly weren't allowed to have.
You can speak poorly of Gavin Newsom on X. You weren't able to do that before.
Yeah, so that's all. I don't know why that necessitates a new platform, but anyway, Trump's funny, and also Trump. Here's the reality with crazy people. If whatever it is you have a problem with exists in real life, like a real problem, then that can be addressed. If your problem is just invisible, like systemic racism or whatever else you're making up at the time, then it can never be addressed because it doesn't exist. So how do we fix, your neighbor could say, "Hey, Dawson, your tree's growing over into my yard. Can we prune the branches a little bit?" And then you can go, "Well, okay. Can I come over and have access to your property? Do you want to split the cost of an arborist coming over?" Like, there's something to have. But if they go, "Your leprechaun's on my roof every night," then there's no what. Then you can go, "You're fucking nuts. Shut the fuck up. I'm not talking to you anymore," because that's not a fixable problem because it doesn't exist.
But
and these people are grievance people.
Yes.
They what's going on with Hamas?
Yes.
Well, Hamas is just shooting people in the street. Okay. Did you want this conflict to end or not? They don't. People keep. I've been screaming this top of the hill, and I'll let you talk. Top of the mountain. People are like, "We gave them what they wanted. We gave them what..." They're grievance people. They don't want anything, but they can't. Your neighbor can't go, "I'm a nutty grievance person." Your neighbor has to keep complaining about shit.
Yes.
But they're grievance people.
Yes.
So that's what they are. That's what they are with the border. That's what they're with Hamas, the gay rights, Palestinian, Antifa, whatever, fucking trans rights. They're grievance. Grievance. And what you do with grievance people is you go, "Shut the fuck up."
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah,
Sorry,
we have never been closer to actually freeing Palestine than we are today.
They don't give a fuck.
But they're
about
doubling down because they're grievance people. And here's the interesting thing. You talked about the neighbor with the leprechaun on the roof. Here's the interesting part. They've convinced millions and millions of people that there is a leprechaun on your roof.
Yes, that's the crazy part. They've convinced half the country and most of Europe that a man can be a woman and a woman can be a man.
Right.
So they can pull anything off. The leprechaun on the roof is light lifting compared to convincing people that my son can be my daughter, my daughter can be my son. That, once you pull that off, you can pull anything off. I had a crazy neighbor. She kept coming to me with everything. She was nuts. I tried to play nice for like a long period of time, and she had things that were like insane, just insane, and grievances that were insane. And at a certain point, I just went, "Hey, fuck off.
Right.
Fuck off. Leave me alone."
Right.
And she left. And she'd see me get out of the car, and before she'd walk toward me. Now she'd go back in her house because I just told her, "Fuck off.
Yeah.
You're fucking nuts." At a certain point, I was like, "I've determined you're nuts. I'm not going to listen to you anymore. So fuck off and don't talk to me."
Right.
And that was it. I never spoke to her again.
Right.
And with the grievance people, that's all you got. So all you got when they go, "Don't put a sombrero on top of Chuck." Yes, another sombrero.
Right.
That's all you can do. That's where we're at. That's all that works. And then they don't like it. They're like, "Why do I have a neighbor who tells me to fuck off?" Because you bothered him with the fucking leprechauns for so long, he now told you to fuck off. Did he want to have this relationship with his neighbor? No, he did not.
Right.
But eventually, he reaches saturation point, and now he's just put a sombrero on your leprechaun.
There you go. That needs to be the new meme. We need sombreros on leprechauns. It may be time for a land war in Maduro's Venezuela. Now, what's wonderful about this and interesting about this is I believe that, remember when we had the whistleblower, Gary Burnson, in with Ralph Pizzullo in the book Stolen Elections? Those things are starting to come around.
Yes.
I believe that there has been an indictment on Smartmatic already. And just a month ago, Newsmax settled a lawsuit with Smartmatic. And they had all this information, so I don't get that. Anyway, whatever. Apparently, Nicolas Maduro, who, according to the whistleblower, fixed Venezuela's election and got elected that way.
Fixed it, not like repaired it, but
No.
fixed.
Yeah.
Fixed.
The fix
was in. Yeah.
Right. So, if he is indeed a big part of this Cartel del Sol, which underneath that is the Tren de Aragua and a global election fixing and drug, whatever the word is, selling drugs, bringing drugs across the nation. Anyway, Maduro apparently pulled out a new Trump card and said, "Look, United States, you can have everything you want in our country. You can have our oil. You can have our minerals. We will play ball with you. Just don't attack us." Here's what Trump said.
Around the world, I'll say that.
Mr. President, it has been reported that Maduro offered everything in his country, all the natural resources. He even recorded a message to you in English recently, offering mediation. What should we do in order to stop that?
He has offered everything. He's offered everything. You're right. You know why? Because he doesn't want to fuck around with the United States.
Boom.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everybody. Goodbye.
Because the disease started in China. And fuck around with the United States. So listen, everyone. Maduro, the good folks of the Middle East, Hamas, terrorist organizations, and my old crazy neighbor, they only understand one thing. Fuck off, punch in the mouth. Now, I don't like that society. I would like if everyone was the Netherlands or everyone was Canada, but they're not. And I wish every neighbor was my cool neighbor.
Right.
I had Vince Vaughn as a neighbor. The guy lived right next door to me. That was cool. But when you get the bad neighbor, this is the only language they speak. And this notion of like, we're going to appease them and we're going to make good with them. They only understand a fist. And it's sad that that's the only thing. Everybody, the entire Middle East is that way. They only understand a fucking bunker buster. That's all they understand.
They still don't understand it, apparently, because Hamas is still holding back some hostage bodies and still not disarming. So by the time this airs, they may get blown up again.
And people are, again, whether it's the neighbor or the bunker buster, people are like, why do you have to do that? I don't want to do that. I wish we didn't do it. There are many neighbors in many neighboring countries where you don't have to do it.
Right.
And then there are the ones that you do. And that's where we come in. And that's not where Biden comes in, and it's not where Kamala Harris comes in, because they're soft and they're weak and they're fucking idiots.
Remember,
and they don't
Biden's four-letter word, right?
Don't. just don't.
Yep.
Don't. What do you
Delivered
say
exactly
to
like that.
deliver a nuclear bomb? Don't. Okay, that doesn't. But these people see those. They see Biden. They see Kamala Harris. They see weakness, and they do whatever the fuck they want.
If Trump was Hitler, by the way, why not have a puppet regime in Venezuela and we get everything? Okay, crooked guy. You can stay there. We'll take all your stuff. You'll be our puppet, and let's move on. No, he wants Venezuela to succeed for the people of Venezuela. Also, and in the meantime, it's going to help everybody.
All this stuff, too, is like, remember during his first term, he said, I'm going to move the embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem.
Right.
I believe. And everyone went, you're going to start World War III. You're going to set the Middle East. And then it's done. And nothing happened.
Right.
So shut the fuck up.
Right.
Everything is, here's what's going to happen. And nothing ever happened.
Right.
Well, if you open the schools, your kid goes, and then he comes back, and then he's infected, and then he gives it to Nana, and then nothing ever happens. Nothing ever happens that you say is going to happen. So shut the fuck up.
Well, if we sign this clean resolution to keep the government open, tens of millions of people are going to die.
Tens of millions.
And then when they reopen the government, let's look forward and let's see how many people have died. I want everyone held accountable for the stupid things they say.
Nothing ever happens. All right, you got one more?
I do. Zoran Mandami was targeted. They had a New York mayoral race debate. And then some top moments here. Mandami appeared to backtrack on his position about Hamas laying down their arms, saying, of course I believe that they should lay down their arms. Previously, he didn't say that.
All right, tons of backtracking, right? So, again, whether it's Mandami or whether it's Kamala Harris, you really have to think about it. You go, all right, Kamala Harris, you want to run for president? Yeah. What about that thing where you wanted to pay for illegals who are in prison to transition sexually? And yeah, I'm not down with that anymore. No. Yeah, you were, I think you were 56 when you said that.
Right.
Yeah, that was the old me.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's been 18 months. You're 57 and a half now. Yeah, no, not anymore. And what about fracking? Yeah, no, not down with that. Oh, then what about defunding the police, Zoran? Yeah, no, that was the old me.
Right.
That was 14 months ago. Go
as far as, yeah, go ahead.
Why are we voting for people that are running away from shit they said all the time? Hey, Adam, yeah, the whole left turn arrow thing, yeah, should be blinking orange, yeah. You still with? Yes, I'm 1,000% with that. What next? What's the next question? What about what to do with the graffiti problem? I'm 100% with every fucking thing I've ever fucking said in the last 25 years. Okay? Right. Are we good? Or am I running away from all the shit I said? If you're running away from all the shit you said, maybe we don't need you in that position. And maybe that's the way you think.
You're a politician who will say anything to get elected.
Also, I would argue that's kind of where you're at. You're running away from your bad ideas because you think they're going to hurt. But if they're your ideas and they're good ideas, then why are you running away from them?
Right.
It should be very suspicious when people run away from their own adult ideas.
It should be, but it's not because people are morons.
Yes.
Cuomo also attacked Mondami's thin resume, saying he has no experiences. This is not a job for someone who has no management experience to run around 300,000 people, no financial experience to run a $115 billion budget. He said he never had a job. On his resume, he says he interned for his mother. That was his job.
By the way, his dad's more radical than he is. I say this all the time. I mean, I know Soros' kid, money and stuff like that. What about what happened to rebelling against your parents? I don't do anything my parents did, and I don't think. And like, if someone said, "Oh, what about your mom politically?" I'd go, "That crackpot. Don't listen to that bitch.
Right.
She don't know what the fuck she's talking about. Why? What happened? Why is everyone just doing what their fucking parents are doing?" I mean, actually, they don't on the right. On the right, the kids rebel, but on the left, like. Tim Walz's fucking daughter's nuttier than he is.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean? Like, what's with all the nutty kids? You're supposed to be rebelling against your parents and their stupid fucking ideas.
Right.
And they do it on the right side of the aisle all the time, but on the left, they never. I mean, I guess Chelsea Clinton wants to get paid. Like, I guess it's just about money or something. I feel like on the right, the Republicans have kids that rebel.
Mm-hmm.
The left, the kids never rebel. Why not?
You know, I think Tim Walz's son is probably, I think he is kind of a rebeller.
Oh, he has a son.
He has a son that stays out of the spotlight. But he was talking in an interview before the election, and his son was explaining how kids his age love Donald Trump.
Oh,
but he didn't. He went as far as to say, "I understand." No, not my son. Yeah, he's
right.
Not him.
Aha.
So
code.
That's why. So I think that guy is rebelling. But what do you think is going to happen in New York? I think the tide is turning. I honestly do. I do not believe that New York will elect Mondami.
Oh, really? Well, look, he's heavily favored. I can tell you, so a couple things. First off, I liked during the debate, Mondami was trying to bust Cuomo because he hadn't been to a mosque.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, when have you been to a mosque? I've been to a mosque. You haven't seen it at the mosque. Who gives a fuck? This is the United States. You don't go to fucking mosque.
Right.
The answer to...
I can name St. Patrick's Cathedral. Shut the fuck up.
Right. That's the answer. The answer, again, it's you're so out of touch, you don't even know what a gallon of milk costs. Yeah, I'm not at the fucking Lucky's all day buying fucking milk. I'm not buying leche for the kids. I'm doing shit.
Right.
So fuck off. I work real hard and then I pay someone to do that. Yes, I have no fucking idea because it doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is the cost of gas. That's too expensive because that fucks up a lot of poor people. But I love that he's trying to bust him on the mosque. The answer is I don't know. Because who gives a fuck?
I'm not a Muslim.
Because we're not
Why
Muslim.
do I need to? Yeah.
And I'm not like you going to fucking brown nose everyone to try to get a vote.
Absolutely.
So there was that. The other one is the free bus ride. I love it when these guys, the socialists, like crunch the numbers. Like, we've done a study. By the way, I love their studies. You know, the Southern Poverty Law Center says, They say, right. They say,
Turning Point USA
Prager
is
a hate group or whatever. Yeah,
right.
Okay, you've done your homework. All right. Thank you for doing that. Where studies show that free bus rides end up in safer, cleaner, less... free everything is a shit show.
No.
Free bus rides, but... okay. It's $2 to ride the fucking bus in these modern times. Like
almost free.
It's close to what's... I'm sorry, we live in a society where $2 is now ostensibly free.
Right.
Like $2 is not something. And they go, well, that's for you. But what about the fucking the person who pays the $2? The poor person walks up with a $7 Starbucks in their fucking hand. So don't give me that.
Right.
They don't have a fucking enough money. How does this even factor in? Like who in modern times can go to work and live in Manhattan or work in Manhattan at least? And $2 is a fucking that's the barrier to entry for you getting into Manhattan or whatever. What the fuck are you talking about? And you have no idea what making shit free does. It's like every public housing project's a shit box because there's no pride of ownership. I used to tell people, when Drew and I would do the colleges, it would be like student union and 3,000 people would show up. And I'd go, are you charging? And they'd go, oh, no, it's free for the student union. I go, just charge $1. Charge $1 for a ticket. And they go, wow, but it's free for the student. I go, no.
You have skin in the
free.
game.
It's free. And people fucking start talking on their phone and they leave halfway into it. It's just charge them a fucking $1, make them feel involved.
Exactly.
Oh, you have Zoran's Musk clip. I love that he's trying to bust him. When's the last time you put on an explosive vest, huh?
Right. For him to set foot in a mosque. He had more than 10 years, and he couldn't name a single mosque at the last debate we had that he visited. And what Muslims want in this city is what every community wants and deserves. They want equality, and they want respect. And it took me to get you to even see those Muslims as part of this city. And that, frankly, is something that is shameful and is why so many New Yorkers have lost faith in this politics.
Yeah. You know, that is totally false. I worked with the Muslim community for many years.
Name a single mosque you went to when you were the governor. Can you name a single mosque you went to in 10 years?
Before you were ever here.
Before I was here.
Sliwa is just sitting there in the middle, like these two fucking idiots. By the way, did you see this woman may be on the Mount Rushmore. Chuck, put that back up again on the Mount Rushmore of sign language interpreters. Watch where he says shameless.
To set foot in a mosque.
Oh my.
He had more than 10 years.
This is good.
And he couldn't name a single mosque at the last debate we had that he visited. What Muslims want in this city is what every community wants and deserves.
She thought she was like a black picnic when she did it.
It took me to get you to see that.
I think between this and COVID and the mandatory sign language and everything, I now think I understand sign. I think just sort of through osmosis.
It seems pretty easy.
I think I get it. A lot of sign is just like, come on now. Like we all speak a little bit of sign language. Everyone who has a dog speaks some sign language because with your dog, it's always like, the dog's like, all right, like you get it.
Yeah.
But once again,
my dog knows that this means sit.
Yeah. Yeah. They have the closed caption stuff, and for people who don't know, once there's a close, I can hit a button on my TV and just turn the sound down and read everything, but the answer is American Sign is its own language, which is retarded and bullshit. And if you're deaf, nobody's a better reader than you because you spent your whole life reading subtitles and captions and stuff like that.
But what about that one person?
What about the one person speaks? American Sign is a language, and it would be a slap in the face to these people if we did not have American Sign, even though evidently a more accurate representation of what's going on would be the transcript.